Welcome learner, Department of Collegiate and Technical Education has provided us online teaching and learning platform through LMS. Under this program, we take up the course PCB Design and Fabrication Lab. Subject code is 15EC56P for 5th semester Diploma in Electronics and Communication Engineering students. Under this Unit 1, PCB Design Flow, Session 5 now. Manufacturing output. Through the manufacturing output stage, the designer has to generate files in various formats, including as follows. PCB design has manufacturing output, and those files can be generated from the software. Those files are as follows now. Gerber files representing the plotted layers. For each and every layer in the PCB, there will be a Gerber file, and apart from that, assembly drawing, seal screen also Gerber file. Drill files, typically in XLN format, representing toe print holes, wire holes, and mechanical holes present in the PCB. HPGL DXF files representing the mechanical drawings. That is the standard used for the mechanical drawing should be given in the formats of HPGL or DXF files. A netlist file IPC356D or various CAD formats. The netlist file should be given in this IPC format, or some companies has their own format to represent the netlist, to represent the physical connectivity of the PCB connections. A bill of material with a list of components and packages. What are all the packages present in the PCB and what are all the components are present in the PCB? Everything will be included in the bill of material. General rules for design of analog PCBs. Some of the thumb rules should be followed for the analog PCBs, and those certain sets cannot be followed in the digital PCBs. For designing the RF PCB, certain set of guidelines and rules should be followed. If the designer is not followed such guidelines, the PCB will not going to work in the actual field where he is going to apply. Keep the signal path as short as possible. This will help to minimize both voltage drops through the conductors as well as electromagnetic interference by controlling the loop areas. Maintaining the shortest connection is very much essential in PCB designing. This is what it tells about this paragraph. Provide separate analog and digital grounds and tie the two together only once. Tie the digital ground, analog ground is required in the PCB. Provide one connection from the system ground to the actual earth ground. Actual earth ground and system ground should be connected. Connect capacitive shield once to provide a return path to the noise source. Capacitive shielding is required to provide the noise source. General rules for design of analog PCBs. Magnetic shields must be made out of a highly permeable material to be effective. If you want to give the shielding around the circuitry, the shielding material should have the high permeability. It will be more effective in the PCB. It will absorb more radiation present in the PCB. Metal shield not be left electrically floating. That metal shield should be grounded somewhere and should not be floated. Maintain the balance of a system to prevent common mode signals from becoming differential. The common mode signal should not be turned into the differential mode signals, you have to take care such type of connections present in the PCB. General rules for design of analog PCBs. Route the analog signals with special care. Keep loop areas small and always think as to where the current will flow. While routing the track, you have to keep it in mind how the current is flowing in that track. Between the two PCBs, use twisted pair cable to improve the noise rejection of a system. If you want to connect two PCBs, you use the twisted pair cable to connect both the PCBs. That will reject the noise present in the two PCBs or either. General design factor for digital circuits. The main problem that can affect digital PCBs if they are not properly designed are as follows. Reflections, causing signal delays and double pulsing, that is conversion of one pulse into the two or more pulses or multiple pulses will present in the PCB. Crosstalk, interference between neighboring signals or reduce of the voltage to the nearby track. Ground and supply signal noise. Ground and supply signal noises are one of the major noises present in the PCBs, and magnetic interference from pulse type electromagnetic shields. The artwork of making any PCB requires the Gerber generation. The Gerber file consists of assembly drawing, silk screen drawing, electrical layers, solder mask, and manufacturing drawing. These are all the main files that should be given to the manufacturing section. Each file has its own importance after manufacturing the PCB. Assembly drawing is useful for mounting the component. Silk screen is useful for identifying the component. Electrical layers are actual etched tracks present in the PCB. Solder mask is used to prevent the PCB from the external environment. Manufacturing drawing is the drawing given to the manufacturer. It will give each and every specifications required in the PCB. Questions now. The layer present in PCB which protects from external environment is assembly drawing, silk screen drawing, solder mask, Gerber. The answer is solder mask. Second question. The silk screen layer of naming present in the PCB Gerber useful for checking, assembling components, testing, purchasing components. The answer is for testing purpose. Third question. Bill of material representing number of connections in the PCB, number of components in the PCB, number of files in the PCB, number of Gerber files in the PCB. The answer is number of components present in the PCB. Fourth question. Input to the designing PCB are, it represents what are all the inputs required for designing the PCB in software section. Part list, mechanical drawing, circuit diagram, all the above. The answer is all the above. Part list, mechanical dimension of the PCB, circuit diagram are the basic requirement for the PCB designer. These are all the references. Thank you for watching.